Suid-Afrikaanse blues-musikant Kenny Hughes kuier vanmôre by ons en ons gesels bietjie oor sy musiek en oor sy loopbaan. Hallo Kenny.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
It's an absolute
Glad to
pleasure.
be here. Yeah.
Kenny, why blues? I mean, surely South Africa has a tradition of sokkie musiek.
Ja,
why go
bokkie,
blues?
sokkie. So ek het groot geword in 'n huis met baie goeie ouers wat baie goeie musiek geluister het. Ek het groot geword met Dire Straits, Eric Clapton, Creedence Clearwater Revival. So for me, music always had to be very guitar driven. That's just what came naturally to me. I fell in love with the blues before I knew it was called the blues. So eventually, throughout my learning process, I came across the genre called the blues, and I just fell in love. And it just feels like home to me, you know. So dis wat net so.
En wanneer het jy besluit maar dit is die rigting wat jy wil inslaan en dit is wat jy wil doen vir 'n lewe?
So ek het altyd geweet musiek sal 'n deel wees van my lewe, maar ek het nooit geweet hoe groot deel dit van my lewe sal word nie. So ek het direk uit matriek uit het ek begin 'n versekering verkoop, actually, of all things. And every day I went in, it felt like I was leaving a little piece of my soul behind at the door, you know, a piece I'd never get back. So eventually te maak net die besluit ek gaan eerder gitaarlesse begin gee. So it was closer to home. And then eventually I started booking gigs and I saw, hey, but I can actually do this, man. Let me do it. And it's been 5 years and it's been going really, really well. I've seen some cool places, met some really cool people. So, you know, it's awesome.
Where did it start? What place? I mean, like, I'm looking, a town, for instance. Where did you grow up?
I grew up all over, actually. I spent quite a few years in White River, aan die kant Nelspruit, paar jaar in Johannesburg, paar jaar in Hartbeespoort, Black for the jaar in Bloemfontein. I've been all over. And but my music scene, my music career started off in Pretoria at Ontlas in Hatfield, actually.
In Hatfield.
Ja, hulle het open mic nights gehad en ek het opgedaag met my akoestiese gitaar, ek het bietjie gespeel. The presenter at that time, Baas de Beer, told me, you've got a real talent, I'm going to help you. And he just put me in touch with all sorts of cool people that helped me along the way since then.
As jy student in Pretoria was, weet jy, Ontlas is nogal die plek om 'n les te gaan leer in die nag.
Yeah, apparently so, right?
Ja.
Wel, ek sien ook dat jy tot dusver was er nou al 5 enkelsnitte gewees. En jy het nogal 'n hele paar van hulle, ek dink 3 van hulle wat nogal redelik suksesvol ook was en goed presteer het wanneer 'n mens kyk na, jy weet, die verskillende ek dink ook maar radiostasies en so aan. So vertel ons net so 'n bietjie meer van daai enkelsnitte.
So those 3 songs, they were all post-COVID. I mean, obviously COVID, the lockdown was very, very difficult on anyone in my industry. So the first song was 1920 that I released. I'm not even sure when it was. I think it was maybe March or April of 2020. And it's a full-on COVID song. So it's all about the struggle of having to isolate, having to not be able to perform or anything like that. And ek weet nie. I mean, die lockdown for me was a very inspiring time because I couldn't be on the road. I couldn't be playing the songs that I'm used to playing. So I had to reflect on where I was in my career and what I wanted to do, and it gave me a lot of time to write. And so to skryf ek daai 3 songs, and they did pretty well. And I'm excited. I never would have imagined, but yeah, it went really, really well.
We spoke to Elsabie earlier, and I want to ask you the same question. There's almost an eternal struggle of the creative, the artist, to survive. How are you experiencing that?
I mean, obviously it's tough. You know, it's a tough industry. But I find myself when I'm on stage, whether it's a good gig, whether it's a bad gig, I look at my feet and I'm playing, and I realize you're doing this for a living. This is what you do. As difficult as it is, and as hard as it gets, it's more rewarding than it's suffering. You know, so I love it. After every gig, it's just it reaffirms why I'm doing it in the first place. So dis moeilik. Don't get me wrong. Dis 'n baie moeilike bedryf, maar you got to just keep going, man. You got to keep playing.
En jy het nou al saam met redelike befaamde kunstenaars opgetree. A couple of very famous people.
Quite a few. Yeah, I opened for Jeremy Loops twice in Bloemfontein. I've opened for Albert Frost. Opened for the Black Cat Bones, Arno Karstens. So yeah, it's been quite a ride so far. It's been quite cool.
En is jou droom meer plaaslik of is dit internasionaal?
Definitief international. Yeah. So like you said earlier, Pierre, the Rocky Bokkie Sokkie scene is massive in Afrikaans culture. So it's not exactly my target audience. I feel like my target audience has got to be somewhere overseas, Europe or America or whatever. But that being said, South Africa will always be my home. You know what I mean? I'll always come back here. I still love it. It's beautiful. There are still really cool venues. There is still a really good support network for my type of music, even if it's not as big. So, you know.
we had a couple of people here. The guitarist Dan Petlansky was here the other day, and he also said, you start in South Africa, but your exposure goes internationally eventually. Have you experienced that? Is that what you're feeling now?
I've at least got a taste of it. I mean, with my 3 songs, it did really well. A lot of them, well, all 3 of them actually went over to places like Germany, Canada, Australia, everywhere. So just that feeling that my music is being played internationally is already awesome to me. I can only imagine what the future holds, you know. But yeah, I can't wait for it. I'm very, very excited.
Jy gaan later vandag gaan jy vir ons 'n song speel.
En ek kan nie wag nie.
Mag ek vir jou vra wat sien dit gaan wees?
1920.
1920.
Yes.
Alright. Ek het toevallig nou op YouTube kan mense dit nogal gaan sien. Dis nogal 'n oulike video. Wat is die inspirasie agter 1920?
Well, like I said, it was my a COVID song. It was a reflection of where I was when I was in Bloemfontein. A bit of a weird space for me, figuring out what exactly I'm going to do. I was supposed to go on tour in Mozambique for 3 months. Kom ek was daar vir 'n week gewees en toe sê Cyril hy gaan die grense toe maak. So ons moes terugkom. So toe word 3 maande se toer gekanselleer. I mean, I had that weighing very heavily on me. And that's why the first line of the song is clip my wings, let me start again. And that's essentially what happened. I had to go home. I had to sit and do nothing for month after month, hoping things will get better. And it's
Nou,
frustration.
as jy saam met enige iemand in die wêreld kon werk, wie sou dit wees? Want ek is seker of ek meen jy het nou verwys na die musiek wat jy geluister het. Maar daar is waarskynlik ook 'n hele paar mense wat wel ook daai invloed op jou het.
Ek dink nie ek sal ooit saam met hom kan werk nie, but if I could just have a beer with him or a coffee with him, Mark Knopfler would be awesome. Vocalist, guitarist for Dire Straits, obviously. And I've had the privilege of working with Albert Frost, which was awesome because he is definitely inspiration. I mean, he's the South African Jimi Hendrix, you know what I mean? That's quite a claim. But I'd like to work with Dan Petlansky if I have the opportunity at some point, because I believe he's a remarkable musician. And he's been very inspiring to me and a lot of local musos.
Yeah, no, I have a total man crush on him. He's an amazing guy.
100%.
And he's very humble as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Blues guitarists, the stereotypical blues guitarist always has a crush on a guitar.
Yes.
So you obviously have a crush on a guitar. When did you discover the guitar that was yours, that was supposed to be in your arms?
That's a really good question. I've actually never forgotten. Have you guys ever heard of Hank Marvin?
No.
Hank Marvin is the guitarist for the Shadows.
Okay.
And they have this song called Apache, and then they play with 2 red Stratocasters, Fiesta red Stratocasters. And the first time I watched that video with my dad, he had a live DVD. First time I watched it, I was just like, I will have one of those one day. One day I'll have my red Strat. And on my 18th birthday, actually, my dad surprised me with her over there. Her name's Scarlett.
I got my red Strat.
Massive.
Verjaardagpresente. Ons is juist vandag op verjaardagpresente, ja?
It was, and happy birthday, actually. Sorry, how dare I forget? How dare I forget?
This is about you.
So for my 18th, my dad invested in my future by buying me a Stratocaster. And thank goodness he did, because she's paid for herself many times over by now, with all the kilometers she's seen and all the shows she's seen. It's been very cool.
Nou as jy as iemand ingeskakel is en dit is ook iets wat hulle vir 'n lewe wil doen. Want ek meen ons het nou al met 'n hele paar mense gepraat en dit is ook maar 'n moeilike pad, maar watter wenke sou jy deel?
Write your own music. There are a lot of cover artists. I'm one of them. I do a lot of covers, pretty much 50-50 actually. But write your own stuff. It's important to get original songs out there, and you never know who you inspire with your original songs, and you also never know how far it'll go. You know, I never expected mine to get #1 spot on Mix FM, but 3 of them did. So write your own music, and don't stop writing your own music. And also just gig. Like any gig it is, whatever. Like if it's lucrative, great. If it's not, just do it anyway.
Stay active.
Just stay active, keep gigging.
Dis die ding. Staan op soos asof dit 'n werk op 'n kantoor is en hou aan kreatief wees.
Just do it. Don't stop.
Ken jy, is 'n voorreg om jou te gesels. Baie dankie hier by ons. Kom kuier dit vanmôre.
Thank you for having me.
Lovely. And we're looking forward to 1920 that you're going to perform for us later on.
Yeah.
Ja, wonderlik. So dis aan Kenny Hughes, as Suid-Afrikaanse blues musikant.